Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind successful startups, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today we're joined by Allison Ishman, the founder of Allison Ishman Creative Agency, a digital marketing and advertising firm that specializes in Facebook and Instagram ads, sales funnels, and high conversion website copy. With experience in managing over $10,000 per day in ad spends and delivering 5 times to 33 times ROI for clients, including best-selling authors featured on major media like Oprah and The Today Show, Allison brings proven experience in scaling brands with precision. Allison, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Yes, thanks for having me. Nice to be here.
It's amazing to have you here. So with all my guests, I like to start at the beginning of their journey. So can you take me back to maybe what you was doing before you started up the agency? What specific problem you was looking to conquer while doing so?
Sure, thanks. I started as a therapy provider. I had several decades of experience doing clinical massage and sports performance work and Pilates work. And I naturally evolved into the equipment side of the business and went full-time into renting massage tables at massagetablerentals.com in 2011. That business has a lot of bigger brands that do a lot of event marketing and screenings and conferences and trade shows. So I discovered the world of people who had pretty good-sized budgets to solve marketing problems there. And clients in that rentals business became everything from NASA doing screenings for astronauts to we working steadily with the NBA Players Association. We have tables at most NFL games. We work with
Amazing.
PR companies and hotels and quite a lot of healthcare professional like conference organizers. So just a whole bunch of conference and healthcare professionals. And what's great about that business is we have the opportunities to support people who are helping other people. All of those people are providing some kind of hands-on screenings or care or trainings that help people in the world, and it's very rewarding in that regard. But it's also a lot of big companies, so you have to have your act together. That business was like a level up in terms of working with corporate people and seeing businesses and working with businesses that are bigger.
Yeah.
That's how that business evolved. And then now that business mostly runs itself. I have a team, and the team asks me opinions, approvals. Can we buy more boxes? Stuff like that. But I'm not really required in the day-to-day operations of that business. And so last year, about a year and a half ago, I started my marketing agency because I just really developed a taste for running the ads. I have a passion project I started during COVID. I have a skincare brand called iBodyCare, and I wanted to learn how to acquire new customers. So I joined
Yeah.
a coaching program, an expensive coaching program. I spent a lot of money on ads. I learned what not to do. I wasted a lot of money. I burned a lot of money, my own money. And then I was like, no, this isn't good. And I figured out how to run ads that felt more native on that platform. And I learned the distinct difference between marketing in different places. And it really matured me in terms of customer acquisition.
Yeah.
And that's when I started taking bigger clients through the agency and got to the numbers that you read off earlier when you introduced me.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I suppose touching on what you said about wasting a lot of money to learn, it's always
Yeah.
great when someone has to go through the process themselves, because I
Right.
feel like when you master it. So let's dive into the business today. Can you give the listeners more context on, let's say, who your ideal customer is? And then from there,
Yeah. I primarily work with coaches, course creators, and founder-led brands. My goal is really to work with people that help others. It's my ideal goal. What I like about working with coaches is that they're always delivering some level of transformation, right? So they're taking somebody who's starting with a problem. Most coaches are doing high ticket work these days. So they're
Mhm.
starting off with a pretty significant problem in order to spend high ticket money. And then by the end of the program, they're coming out completely new pair of glasses on. They have a completely new perspective. It's very rewarding to support coaching. And coaches are smart, typically smart people. They have a certain knowledge base, but understanding how to drive a steady stream of constant customers and leads and close those leads and speak to those leads properly, that's a little more challenging if they're focusing on the coaching. So that's where I come in and help. In the course creation side, I think, of course, a lot of people start in coaching or start with that expertise and move to course creation. And those people obviously are also helping other people learn and grow and helping others. So those are really important areas. From founder-led brands, I think it's more just finding the right founders, the people who are really focused on growth and have the right
Mhm.
pieces in place to start working with ads.
Yeah, 100%. It's a completely different ball game, I feel like, especially within the online space, as you mentioned, a lot of coaches moving there now. The click to the ads is, I feel like, what definitely takes them to the next level. And it's often that bit that's missing within kind of their knowledge base, if that's fair to
Yeah.
say.
And I think the cool thing about running ads when you have a helping profession, or probably any business, but especially in a helping profession, is how much you learn. You
Yeah,
learn about what your customers care about. You learn what language they use. If you're really talking to them and paying attention, and your ads are evolving and growing and getting really good, and your cost per click is getting really low, then you're really learning a lot. You're understanding your customer, and that makes you more effective in everything you're doing. It's not
100%.
just revenue growth, it's quality growth.
Yeah, it's audience knowledge is what you're
Yeah.
gaining as well is literally how you're connecting with people, if you're connecting with the right messages and if they're buying into you as well as the product that you're selling, you get all that knowledge. So let's talk us through the core offer. So what is it that you actually sell to people and how is it that you work with them?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I start off by asking them a lot of questions about their business. I'm pretty interested in partnering with the right businesses.
Mhm.
I learn more about what drives them and what motivates them. And then when we get to a place that we figure out we're a fit, I would offer to pull together things that they need in order to get those ads running and humming. Some people have some assets already. They have great social media posts, they've got lots of video content. So that's a starting point for them. And other people are starting off cold and they need something really fresh and something new. So the one of those two spots they start in, they're either partial funnel build or full funnel build. And we get started there. And then we set up an ads campaign, a marketing plan, a strategy, and we start running the ads. So they're having our support monthly as we go in there and watch what they're doing, optimize things. Unlike some agencies where they just take the money and they just spend more when the customer says spend more, we pay a lot of attention to the numbers. We look at conversion. We make sure that we understand what each number is meaning. We respond. We pay a lot of attention. And I think that's because I'm coming from having spent a lot of my own money. So I really understand what all of those numbers mean and what to do. And I think that's the important part of being really effective. So if I get a person who isn't really dialed in, if they don't already have their offer completely finished and
Yeah.
completed and they're trying to figure it out, I can help with that. If they do have an offer that's proven, then we focus more on scaling and getting them the growth they're looking for
Yeah.
while paying attention.
Awesome. And walk me through, so how is it more of a done for you service or do you
It
go in
is.
up and then loop? So it's a done for you.
Mhm.
Amazing. So how long do you typically spend with a client when you're working with them?
Yeah, some clients they come in and stay for about 3 months and they get a boost and that's about
Yep.
what they're ready for and they could fill up. It depends on their readiness to grow. Other people will stay longer. So I think it just depends, like I said, on their readiness to grow. If you have a person who's doing services and they have a limited number of service providers or a limited number of closers, they have to fill in those roles. Those are bottlenecks. But if you
Yep.
have a person that doesn't need to worry about those things and can continue to scale and grow, they can stay longer.
Okay, amazing. And how do you go about acquiring your customers? Is it through the same methods that you sell, or do you try anything different?
I have tried a few different ways. I like doing it through ads, but when you do it through ads, you can wind up with all kinds of people if you're not very dialed in on exactly who
Mhm.
you're targeting. So I think we have explored and continue to use ads. It's obviously the fastest way to grow, it's the best way to do it. But we also have a presence on LinkedIn and we reach out and talk to people on LinkedIn. So those are probably the primary ways, those two ways.
Yeah, To scale, ads are definitely the route to go down. LinkedIn's good. Do you do cold outreach on LinkedIn, or is that kind of an inbound service as well?
Yeah, we do some social posting and then we pay attention to who responds and we build relationships strategically based on those relationships. I just recently started reaching out to more people that are in related marketing spaces that do SEO or other related services, and I'm exploring partnerships and opportunities to collaborate and grow
Yeah.
our audiences.
We can touch on that when we move on to the future section of the podcast. But I do want to get into the back end of the business. So once you've got through your client acquisition and you've got the lead gen running, who do you have a sales team behind you? Is there marketing processes and stuff that you have in place, or is it just you at the moment?
Right now, I do most of the selling. I
Okay.
am the face of the company and I know everything about what we do. And so at this time, I'm still very involved in what happens with customers. I do sometimes, if necessary, I have somebody that can pinch hit and step in and help. But most of the time, that's me.
And how are you finding it? Do you enjoy
Mhm.
that side of it as well?
I like people.
Love it.
I'm used to being the person behind growing businesses. When I grew the rentals business, every time I would pick up the phone and tell people that they were with the right company and we were the right partner and we would look after them, it just meant a lot to people. It helps when you have a person who's a founder and an owner and they're confident. I'm sure I will reach a point where I will probably back off of that, but I like people.
Great. It's nice to have that connection sometimes. I enjoy people. It's why I enjoy doing this job, just chatting, connecting with different people that you wouldn't necessarily be in the same circle, whether it's for business or not. I feel like you can still have a great connection with somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that side of it. So let's move to the plans for the future. What is your vision over the next 12 months? And are there any specific milestones or targets that you're looking to achieve?
I think for me, I would like to have steady growth. I don't want to grow too crazy fast. I am overseeing a couple of other brands, so really, I don't really necessarily feel like I want to become enormous, but I do want a strategic, steady growth rate so that I can enjoy new people all the time. I think working with just the same customers after a while, you dial it in, you figure it out, you're ready for something new. I like a challenge, so I want to keep growing.
That's cool. Do you get a lot of referrals as well then on top of the outreach that you do?
Referrals, if people have, yeah, sometimes I do. It depends on the person. Some people are much more aware of who's around them than others. This day and age, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people get really isolated. They work from home, they're only in their own circle. So if I find the right people to refer, then that's wonderful. Some people are doing that. Other people, I feel like they're not in that place. So it just depends on the person.
Awesome. Okay. So let's get back to the scaling of what you mentioned before. What would you say would be your biggest challenge at the moment in achieving that? What is your bottleneck within the company?
It's probably me. It's probably the fact that I'm the one sitting in front of the phone or the Zoom and talking to people. And the moment that I bring in somebody to help me close, look who I'm even talking to, closers that as soon as I am ready to bring in more help with selling, it'll probably get bigger.
But yeah, that's the thing. You have the ads in space, you need to work on the selling, and the process goes from there. But
Yeah.
it's the way the world works sometimes. It's, as you say, collaborations and moving together are often a great asset
Yeah, I
within this.
agree.
So let me pick your brain for a little bit, and we'll move into a bit of a lightning round. If you could go back to your younger self and leave them with one bit of advice moving forward that you know now that you probably didn't know then, what would that be?
That is a good question. I haven't heard that one in a while. Younger self. Probably I would have said to start more without perfecting so much. I feel like I put a lot of emphasis on being perfect and getting
Mhm.
things just perfect. And I come from a music background, so there's a lot of, my mom's a music teacher, so there was a lot of practicing in order to make things perfect. So I think I would have, stepped forward on more things just to talk to people more. I feel like I err on the side of being careful. And I think that's something I'm actively working on overcoming. So I would have said that to myself.
Okay, love it. Love that bit of honesty as well. Thank you for sharing. And in terms of scaling a business, you've had several. That's obviously what we help people do. What would be the
Mhm.
best piece of advice that you've received about doing so?
Probably one of the reasons I like to talk to people is because I really like to understand my customer. And I think the better you understand your customer, the faster and more effective you can deliver information, and that solves more problems. And people make lots of micro decisions, little decisions, but they understand that you know what you're doing. And that comes from talking to customers.
Yeah.
So that's probably it.
Nice. Communicate, talk to people, get the
Hmm.
building. And then, as a final note before we sign off, what would be the best piece of advice that you can give to any listeners who are just at the start of their journey?
Yeah. I would say take every opportunity to, I sound like I'm beating the same drum, but take every opportunity to really understand your customer and maybe write it down. Start taking some notes about the words they use and the things they say to you. And you don't have to do that from your least favorite customer, but pick your favorite top couple customers and start really paying attention to what they read and how they talk and what they say. And that will guide you toward more people that are just going to be the perfect person for you, which isn't just because of money, but also because it makes you shine and makes you relax and makes you happy. And that's worth something too. So both the money and the happiness are a nice fit.
Definitely. So I also feel, as you're saying, it'll make you feel better. The confidence on the inside always shows on the
Mhm.
outside. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
And just before we wrap up, Alison, where can people reach out to work with you and get to know you better as well?
Yeah, you can reach out to me at AllisonIshman.com or you can find me on LinkedIn. I think it's just linkedin.com/AllisonIshman.
Awesome. So there we go. Across all platforms. And with that is a wrap on another inspiring episode of Founders Future. I want to thank Alison so much for sharing her incredible journey and insight with us today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we were able to go from zero to 30 million in less than 3 years. And until then, keep climbing and we will see you on the next one.